Hello, sports fans. Welcome to the Oklahoma Sports Report. I'm Rick Heath. With me, Mark Rodgers, and we are at Cohiba Lounge here at Jenkins and Boyd in Norman. A great place to come, have a good drink, get a great cigar, and enjoy a sporting event. Speaking of sporting events, OU had a very auspicious beginning last week. Your thoughts on the opening game blowout?
Well, what more can you say? They won 73-0. I don't think the quality of the opponent was great, but I think the execution was outstanding. They scored in a variety of ways on offense. I think they got a lot of players in the game on defense, and so you couldn't have asked for a better performance.
Well, and that, as you said, the quality of the opponent was questionable, but you only can play who's in front of you. And as Kale said last week, you want to see a clean game. That was somewhat.
Yeah.
There were some penalties and some things like that, but for the most part, I thought the offense was really, really sharp, especially with Dillon Gabriel.
Well, they only 3 incomplete passes out of 33. Jackson Arnold came into the game and he was 11 for 11, and he showed the ability to run. I think Dillon Gabriel's mechanics have improved from last year. There were some wide receivers that you kind of get excited about. Petway caught several passes as a young guy. There were some receivers that caught some deep balls, which were hard to execute a year ago. And so on offense, I thought it was really good. Arkansas State, it's not like a 1AA opponent. That's a Division I opponent. They may end up the season, kind of being down at the bottom of all the teams in Division I, but still to go out and dominate a team like that is a great week.
Well, it's everything you could ask for from the coaching staff too. I mean, they got in the players they wanted to play. They got some experience. This week's opponent, however, will be a little different, and we'll talk about that when we get back. But first, let me tell you about Cohiba Lounge. Cohiba Lounge on this Friday is celebrating Western Day, and they're going to do a Western party this Friday, and also Saturday, drink specials and cigar specials during the game here this Saturday. And then don't forget, Friday, September 29th, Smoke Through a Keyhole event with Joe Washington's 70th birthday bash, and you can get one of these keepsake cigars, Smoke Through a Keyhole cigar celebrating Joe Washington here at Cohiba Lounge.
Let us help you get on your journey to feeling better and living a more healthy life. Dr. Gumman at Harmony Healing Center is dedicated to providing personalized care to each of his patients. Internationally trained and nationally recognized, with over 24 years of practice, Dr. Gumman is the highest recommended acupuncturist in Oklahoma. Call and schedule your appointment today.
At Laser Light Skin Clinic, our most popular treatment is now more affordable than ever. Right now, you can save up to 50% on Cool Sculpting, the #1 choice for non-invasive fat reduction. Our flexible treatment plans allow you to choose the option that is perfect for you. Focus on a single problem area or revive your life with a fresh new you. These are real results. For your personal Cool Sculpting consultation, call Laser Light Skin Clinic today. A new you awaits.
You are the most beautiful creation under the sun. Daily Informations. You are going to make Table 14 so happy. And you are being taken away. All right. At Neighborhood Jam, you deserve breakfast as beautiful as you. So start the day right with scratch-made favorites, morning or midday, every day. Treat yourself to Neighborhood Jam. You're gonna taste just as good tomorrow.
Oh man, dude, I really wish I could make that. It's National No Pants Day, and that'd be kind of inappropriate.
We actually just had gas station sushi, and you just don't want to chance that.
We're gonna be running tornado drills all day.
I have tickets to see Kenny Rodgers. He's what?
Tornado drill.
Your friends are tired of coming up with excuses. Two Fellas Moving Company, saving friendships since 1996.
Wander Folk Spirits distilled out of Guthrie, Oklahoma. Great line of spirits. They have Wander Folk Gin, Wander Folk Vodka, and Old Moses Bourbon. All of these are quality products, and they're distilled right here in Oklahoma. So support Oklahoma business. Ask your favorite restaurant or bar to carry Wander Folk Spirits.
Let us help you get on your journey to feeling better and living a more healthy life. Dr. Gumman at Harmony Healing Center is dedicated to providing personalized care to each of his patients. Internationally trained and nationally recognized, with over 24 years of practice, Dr. Gumman is the highest recommended acupuncturist in Oklahoma. Call and schedule your appointment today.
And welcome back. Oklahoma Sports Report OU Football Edition. Rick Heath, Mark Rodgers from Cohiba Lounge. And we happen to be adjacent to Royal Pipes and Tobacco, where you get the best cigar selection in Norman. And as you know, you can get a great cigar, come in, have a wonderful drink, and watch your favorite sporting event. Cohiba Lounge, Royal Pipes. Mark, on the offensive side, we said, I mean, it just couldn't have gone much better. 3 incomplete passes. The running game looked pretty sharp. Offensive line looked pretty good. You know, and they ran a lot of people in, a lot of running backs, a lot of wide receivers. I mean, so they got a lot of exposure to guys they wanted to get some experience.
Yeah, I also thought the strength and conditioning was great because of the pace the offense ran. They were wearing out the defense. It was just, I don't think Arkansas State was ready. There's no way they can simulate that in practice with Jeff Lebby's offense, the way that it goes. Oklahoma's been incredibly fortunate as a program throughout many years to have great offensive coordinators. Mack Brown was an offensive coordinator here at one point in time. He's won a national championship as a head coach at another school. Jeff Lebby, Lincoln Riley, Josh Heupel. You can go all the way back to
Kevin Wilson.
Kevin Wilson is as good as there is as an offensive coordinator in the country, and it just continues with Jeff Lebby. He's going to be a head coach very quickly. He's got a great offense. He spreads the field. He makes defenses work. He gets guys in space. And I think this offense, to me, looks better than it did a year ago.
Well, you know, and it should, because you've got another year's experience with Dylan Gabriel, and you know, and it all revolves around the offensive line. You know, how well the offensive line is protecting Gabriel. He didn't get dusted. As a matter of fact, when Jackson Arnold was in the game, Jackson Arnold goes, "Coach, call me a running play. I want to get dirty." He says, "We can do that," you know. So they ran the play because nobody was touching the quarterbacks when they were dropping back, you know. So the offensive line looked good. They played a lot of guys. About the only criticism I can say on the offense is tight ends are a little bit thin. They lack a little bit on that. But I mean, that's a small aspect of the overall offensive excellence that they show.
Well, they just are going to have to, I think when it comes to tight ends, they're going to have to operate as if they don't really have many tight end sets because there's no depth at that position. And Austin Stogner didn't catch a pass. So that's something that, again, I think that you don't have to worry about getting guys targets in an offense. Jaleel Farouk didn't catch a pass. Now he had a run attempt, and I think Jaleel Farouk is one of the better receivers that Oklahoma has. But the way that the offense is set up, the way that the plays are called, it's not necessarily designed to say feature or showcase one guy or a group of guys. So
it's not like, you know, they say, okay, we're going to throw it to you, Jahil, you know, at a 15-yard out.
Yeah, and I'm not concerned either. Again, about, you know, this offense, tight end sets. You know, maybe in games, 3rd and short, 4th and short last year was a little bit difficult, and normally that's when you line up with some H-back tight end personnel. We'll see when that, you know, that's going to matter. At some point in time this year, that could be one area that they need to improve on.
Well, yeah, and that's one of the things, you know, when you go double tights and you got, like you say, 3rd and 1, maybe they bring in a tackle, you know, maybe they bring in, you know.
Right.
And Blake Smith is a better blocker than he is, you know, route runner, but so maybe that wall takes care of itself. But again, that's just a very small aspect of the OU's offense. You know, and playing at the pace that they're playing and what they want to play at, this Saturday against SMU, who likes to have pace also, this is going to be one of those fast-paced, get a lot of plays in type games.
I think there'll be a bunch of points scored. I don't expect the defense to get a shutout against this SMU offense. I think they're a little bit better than that. SMU's a good team. I mean, it's a program that they beat Cincinnati last year, who's now a conference opponent for Oklahoma. They played TCU, played in the national championship game within 8 points last year, and kind of a high-scoring game. So you just hope the team doesn't start hearing all the great press clippings and 73-0 and kind of relaxes a little bit, because SMU will look at this as a big opportunity.
Well, you know, and this is going to be a lot tougher game. I mean, and we'll talk defensive side, because I think it's going to be a real challenge for the defense, and I still think there's some questions there. But, you know, OU, better not be looking or about anybody with their record last year and how they how bad they were in finishing games and stuff. They better look at what they can do right now, and we'll talk defense also when we get back here with the Oklahoma Sports Report OU Football Edition from the Cohiba Lounge.
At Laser Light Skin Clinic, our most popular treatment is now more affordable than ever. Right now, you can save up to 50% on Cool Sculpting, the #1 choice for non-invasive fat reduction. Our flexible treatment plans allow you to choose the option that is perfect for you. Focus on a single problem area or revive your life with a fresh new you. These are real results. For your personal Cool Sculpting consultation, call Laser Light Skin Clinic today. A new you awaits.
You are the most beautiful creation under the sun. Daily Informations. You are going to make Table 14 so happy. And you are being taken away. All right. At Neighborhood Jam, you deserve breakfast as beautiful as you. So start the day right with scratch-made favorites, morning or midday, every day. Treat yourself to Neighborhood Jam. You're gonna taste just as good tomorrow.
Oh man, dude, I really wish I could make that. It's National No Pants Day, and that'd be kind of inappropriate.
We actually just had gas station sushi, and you just don't want to chance that.
We're gonna be running tornado drills all day.
I have tickets to see Kenny Rodgers. He's what?
Tornado drill.
Your friends are tired of coming up with excuses. Two Fellas Moving Company, saving friendships since 1996.
Wander Folk Spirits distilled out of Guthrie, Oklahoma. Great line of spirits. They have Wander Folk Gin, Wander Folk Vodka, and Old Moses Bourbon. All of these are quality products, and they're distilled right here in Oklahoma. So support Oklahoma business. Ask your favorite restaurant or bar to carry Wander Folk Spirits.
Let us help you get on your journey to feeling better and living a more healthy life. Dr. Gumman at Harmony Healing Center is dedicated to providing personalized care to each of his patients. Internationally trained and nationally recognized, with over 24 years of practice, Dr. Gumman is the highest recommended acupuncturist in Oklahoma. Call and schedule your appointment today.
At Laser Light Skin Clinic, our most popular treatment is now more affordable than ever. Right now, you can save up to 50% on Cool Sculpting, the #1 choice for non-invasive fat reduction. Our flexible treatment plans allow you to choose the option that is perfect for you. Focus on a single problem area or revive your life with a fresh new you. These are real results. For your personal Cool Sculpting consultation, call Laser Light Skin Clinic today. A new you awaits.
You are the most beautiful creation under the sun. Daily Informations. You are going to make Table 14 so happy. And you are being taken away. All right. At Neighborhood Jam, you deserve breakfast as beautiful as you. So start the day right with scratch-made favorites, morning or midday, every day. Treat yourself to Neighborhood Jam. You're gonna taste just as good tomorrow.
Oh man, dude, I really wish I could make that. It's National No Pants Day, and that'd be kind of inappropriate.
We actually just had gas station sushi, and you just don't want to chance that.
We're gonna be running tornado drills all day.
I have tickets to see Kenny Rodgers. He's what?
Tornado drill.
Your friends are tired of coming up with excuses. Two Fellas Moving Company, saving friendships since 1996.
Wander Folk Spirits distilled out of Guthrie, Oklahoma. Great line of spirits. They have Wander Folk Gin, Wander Folk Vodka, and Old Moses Bourbon. All of these are quality products, and they're distilled right here in Oklahoma. So support Oklahoma business. Ask your favorite restaurant or bar to carry Wander Folk Spirits.
Let us help you get on your journey to feeling better and living a more healthy life. Dr. Gumman at Harmony Healing Center is dedicated to providing personalized care to each of his patients. Internationally trained and nationally recognized, with over 24 years of practice, Dr. Gumman is the highest recommended acupuncturist in Oklahoma. Call and schedule your appointment today.
And welcome back, Oklahoma Sports Report OU Football Edition. Mark Rodgers, Rick Heath from Royal Pipes and Tobacco / Cohiba Lounge, where you can get a smoke through a keyhole keepsake Joe Washington 70th birthday cigar here at, the only place you can get it is right here at Cohiba Lounge. And September 29th, he'll be celebrating his 70th birthday here with a celebration to unveil the smoke through a keyhole cigars. Mark, let's talk a little bit about defense. It was a shutout. It looked good. But I'm reminded last year against Nebraska, the defense looked good.
Right.
So I'm not ready to buy the defense yet.
The defense tackled well. Again, they were in pretty good shape. Not a ton of pressure from the defensive front, but I still think that that's the weakness of the team, that they can improve in that area in terms of pass rush. Linebackers played well. Secondary played well. And there's some good players there. But I got a ton of guys in the game. And so a lot of snaps for different people on the defense. And we'll definitely see some more challenges for the defense coming up.
Yeah, I mean, SMU's got a good offensive attack. They're going to play with pace. They're going to run the ball. They can throw the ball. They got wide receivers with speed. They've got a good scheme, as you said earlier. They've got a good program down there that is very, very competitive at the level. They're moving to the ACC. They're stepping up. They have a program on the rise, and it's going to show up here on Saturday. And I'm hoping that the OU defense can adapt, but until I see it, I'm still going to have questions.
Well, even against SMU, I still think there's going to be questions on the defense to be able to sustain from week to week to week to week. I mean, the defense last year didn't show any signs of weakness really until the game against Texas. Now, if you remember the Kent State game last year, they were able to move the football at times, didn't score points. OU had to kind of pull away in the second half. So just because you play great one week doesn't mean you play great the next week. And there's a lot of fluctuation between week 1 and week 2. So you still need that consistency. I do think the offense is talented, and I think the defense is going to move in cycles. This defense didn't go from 122nd in the country in total defense all of a sudden to being the 1985 Chicago Bears. So there's going to be there's going to be some growing pains in there. That's right. There's not the 85 Sooners either. Yeah.
But the good parts. Okay, so we have questions. But to me, the good parts of the defense, secondary looked pretty good. Woody Washington and the other, the youngster Gentry Williams looked good on cornerbacks. They played a lot of safeties. Showed some really, really strong hitting from the
Reggie
safeties.
Pearson.
Yeah, Reggie Pearson. I mean, he looked really good. Other than a silly penalty, but the defense, the secondary, I thought looked pretty good. Linebackers, they're still trying to find their way.
Well, Reggie Pearson, I think, is going to be a big hitter. He can deliver some of those hits. Peyton Bowen is a wild card. He can play safety. I think he can play corner. And maybe he eventually plays nickel or corner. But I think that he's going to be too good to keep off of the field. Now, when you face Texas, they've got a professional tight end, a first-round pick. They got a first-round pick at receiver, maybe 2. And then how do guys tackle in space in the secondary? And that's what can happen to break down a defense pretty quickly is tackling may lack in the secondary. And I think that they've recruited better tacklers. Pearson is a good tackler. Bowen, I think, is going to be a good tackler. The corners in the past aren't big and physical. They were recruited to be guys that ran, with receivers. So I think that's the challenge. I mean, there'll be some teams that can challenge them this year. Texas being the first one. I think there'll be some other teams later in the season that it's going to make it difficult to tackle. I just don't think Arkansas State had those athletes to put OU in those positions.
And they did, but as we've been talking, you play who's in front of you. This Saturday with SMU's offensive prowess, obviously it's going to be a huge test, but
I would dial it back on huge. I think it's a test. I think Texas is a huge test, but I think SMU, while good on offense, I don't think it'll be a huge test this week. I think that it may be the toughest non-conference test. Tulsa will also have an offense I think that's capable of doing some things. They're kind of struggling at quarterback right now. Kevin Wilson is, but the test will come in October and later than that.
Well, I'm just hoping for a 50-50 grade on Saturday. Let the offense carry them. Hey, we are at Cohiba Lounge Royal Pipes, where you can come by and get a fine cigar drink a fine drink, and watch your favorite sporting event. We'll talk more when we come back. And welcome back, Oklahoma Sports Report, OU Football Edition. Mark Rodgers, Rick Heath from Cohiba Lounge. Mark, last week we talked about the launch of Sooner Access. Tell the viewers about that.
Yeah, if you haven't signed up yet, go to SoonersAccess.com. It's going to give you access to a lot of former players who have different opinions. It's kind of like a Players Tribune for Oklahoma football. We're going to continue to grow with memories from Coach Switzer and some events that are based on having you meet and interact physically with the players. So I can't wait. We're really looking forward to bringing you a different type of coverage of OU football and the legends of OU football this season.
Excellent. So SoonerAccess.com.
SoonersAccess.com.
And do that, and you'll find out more from the Sooners via Mark Rodgers, SoonerAccess.com. The matchup this Saturday, OU and SMU, it's a good test. We've talked about that. I think Dillon Gabriel is going to be, again, the key. I think this is going to be a 4 quarters game. It's not going to be one of those where somebody's getting pulled out at halftime because it's a blowout. So I think Dillon Gabriel needs to play well. I think he's got that capability, but I'd like to see it for a full game.
Well, I think, to me, again, last week was good. This week, see if he can continue to do it against a little bit better competition. OU is a little more than 2 touchdown favorite in the game, and those are games that can be tricky at times,
Well, OU in the past has had trouble with, certain times of games like this.
Right. Well, I think, again, this week it should be warm. SMU is going to be over there on the visitor sidelines with the sun kind of bearing down on them. But I expect a similar type of performance. I don't think it'll be a 73-point game, but I do think OU will be ahead comfortable in the second half.
Well, I'd like to see some pressure from the front four. And get some pressure on the quarterback without having to blitz. And I know Brent would like to have that also, and Ted Roof. To be able to get pressure on a quarterback with just your down lineman is a tremendous asset, for a college team.
OU was in the middle of the road in sacks last year. Not a ton of tackles for loss. So that is an area that you want to see some improvement. And I don't know how much room is there for improvement unless they have some young players come through and really step it up. They're just a little bit undersized. I think that those problems are being remedied by Brent Venables in recruiting. He's signed some really good defensive linemen and has been in on a lot of great edge players. And don't forget, he can also get in on the portal with his defensive knowledge and his ability to recruit. So that's changing. It's going to get better and better, I think, as time goes on.
But it's not happening quick enough.
It's not there right now. Yeah. Not there right now.
So we're if you're an OU fan, you're hoping that improves enough to keep the quarterbacks honest.
Yeah.
You don't want them to be having a lot of time and having all kinds of seams to run up. Because that breaks down a defense faster than anything. It's when a quarterback sees a gap and he's 20 yards down the field before the defensive secondary knows he's there.
Yeah.
And so, okay, let's talk a little bit more about some Big 12 matchups. I mean, Texas, Alabama. Texas goes to Alabama. That is the premier game of the college weekend. They said this morning, I heard, that Tuscaloosa is expecting the largest home crowd and visitor crowd ever.
That's because the SEC never makes Georgia go to Alabama.
That's right.
The conference game. Texas played them great last year. Could have won. Maybe feel like they should have won. I don't know. I didn't think Texas was going to play them close last year. I don't really get the feeling that Texas is going to play them that close this year. But I'm hoping for a good game.
Well, if you're a fan of college football like we all are, I mean, you want to see how good these two good teams match up early in the year. And it'll tell a lot about Texas before OU plays them in October, and it'll tell a lot of the SEC about how good Alabama is. And their quarterback looked pretty good last week, so this should be a fairly close game. I'm like you. I think it's going to be a fourth quarter game, and we'll see what happens. Another Big 12 game, Oregon, Texas Tech.
Yeah, now 2 games in the Big 12 where teams played poorly last week. Tech got beat as a 14-point favorite against Wyoming. Baylor got beat at home by Texas State. And they have huge bounce-back opportunities at home against Oregon and then Utah, a couple of Pac-12 teams that might be in the national championship hunt if things break well for them. I think that Tech bounces back. Lubbock's a tough place to play. It's going to be a night game. it's going to be a different environment for Oregon. Baylor, I'm not so sure about. They don't have Blake Shape, and their offensive line was a mess last week.
Yeah, that's a question mark going forward. So it might be an advantageous for OU looking forward down the line. Hey, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Oklahoma Sports Report. We appreciate it. Also, give me a Twitter response at JoeFan at Rick Heath 10. That's JoeFan at Rick Heath 10. Tweet me or X, however you say it now, because it's X. Twitter. I'm with you. It's Twitter. I can't go X. Anyway, let me know what you think of the show and how we might be able to interact. For Mark Rodgers, I'm Rick Heath. We'll see you next week.